Hey guys, and welcome to another GHI Travel Adventure. Today we are in Seymour, so we're going to have a bit of a walk around the town today, show you some of the historic buildings and tell you a little bit about the history of them. If you haven't done so already, like and subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything, but it does help our channel greatly to grow. We love bringing you this content. So without further ado, we're going to have a bit of a walk around. So this is the log cabin lockup. It was built in 1853. In 1865 it was moved to the site of the police station, which is actually just across the road from where we are at the moment. And it's been moved a few times over the years, so it was put on this site in 1994. But it has moved a few times, so we'll just have a bit of a walk around it. Accident, get all that. There actually are a few of these scattered out around Victoria. I know there's one up in Carisbrook, and there is another one, it's Gartner Park, which also has one of these. There's a sign for it. It would have been a lot of work to actually take this apart and then put it back together piece by piece, but they're so good at doing it, and you probably wouldn't even realise that they've been moved. And I actually didn't know until I was doing the actual research to come down here to Seymour that was actually one of these here. I knew of Gartner Park and I visited the one in Carisbrook, but I actually did not even know about this one. If you imagine being locked up in this, it would actually be so cold, especially in the middle of winter. Like today's a very cool day, and I can imagine if I was in there locked up, it wouldn't be very pleasant. So I'm going to say this one is possibly based on the one I've actually been inside at Carisbrook. It probably would have had a cell on either side, and then almost like an admin area in the middle. So here we have the Prince of Wales Hotel that was built in 1863. You can see it's still operating now. You can see obviously it's quite old. I mean, it's been around for 170 odd years, so you'd expect that. But the building itself is actually in pretty good condition. And it's one of a number of hotels here actually in Seymour. So I'm just walking up to the back of the Prince of Wales Hotel, or the Prince. They're actually a stables that have been were built on the back of this. So behind me here you can see the stables. Now these are attached to the Prince Hotel. They've definitely seen better days. As you can see, it looks like it's sort of caving in the middle, but these were all part of the hotel, and these stables were built in 1863. So I was just actually having a word to the gentleman that owns this old post office. It was built in 1872 and was used as a post office till 1911. Up until 6 years ago it was actually used as a restaurant, but he was telling me because he became ill he had to give up on the restaurant, and now they've converted it into a residence where they actually live. It sounds like it's amazing. You can see it's the original building. Yeah, they certainly made beautiful buildings back in the day, didn't they? There is this little plaque that I'm just going to walk up to now and show you. So obviously, as I said, it's built in 1872. It was a post office till 1911. It was actually used by the Light Horse from 1914 as a land force office for I'm going to say World War One actually. And so it closed in 2018. I'd say that's when the restaurant closed, and then it became this private residence. So ahead of us here is the old historic courthouse. It was built in 1864. It did have some alterations in the 1880s and again in 1916. Still, the actual building on the outside looks pretty much original. I'd say any changes were interior. So I'm going to go in a moment because I do believe there's still an old actual courtroom setup, so we'll have a look at that in the museum. So here we are in the actual old courthouse, the courtroom. So you can sort of see behind me is where the magistrate or judge would sit. I'm going to flip this around so I can show you some of the other places as well. So here's where the jury would sit during the trial. His or her honour would be sitting up the back here at the magistrate's bench, and the clerk of the courts would be sitting here just in front of him. And over here is the dock. So I think we all know that's probably the last place you'd be wanting to be, because that would mean you're the one that's being accused of doing something. We're going to go around here because there's actually, it's an art museum as well in here, so have a bit of a look. I would say this would be the juror's room where they deliberate your guilt. There's actually some really nice art here as well. So this is the Royal Hotel in Seymour. The back section here was actually built in 1848 by John Clark. Then it was added to in 1852 and then again in the 1890s. It's a massive pub. Now, I know there actually are groups that run paranormal investigations out of this place, so I'm assuming that means there's probably some reputed hauntings, but absolutely huge building. And this one's actually located on the main street. It's located just opposite this burger place in the background here, which I might have to visit at lunchtime. If you've been here, comment below, especially if you've been on any of the investigations here. I'd be interested to know if there's actually anything's occurred where anyone's actually been here. It's a huge building. It does kind of look like it would be a bit on the spook side, but let us know. So this building here was the first Shire Hall. It was built in 1872. So this would have been where the Shire of Seymour would have held all their sort of meetings, etc. Then you've got this other old sort of structure out the back here as well. Now in 1928 they moved the town Shire halls to a new site in Federal Street, but this building's still standing. Looks absolutely amazing. It's a private residence now. This one here we're coming up to is the old Bank of Victoria, again built in 1872. And then operated till 1934. Now apparently the original bank vault is still inside this building, so looks like it's for sale too. Won't be able to get in there obviously to have a look to see if the bank vault's there, but that's okay. This laundromat just here is actually the old Perrins Assembly Hall. So it's only the facade left now, but it was once the centre of Seymour's entertainment. It used to have a movie theatre in here in 1901. If I walk past, I'll come past and go to the other side of it. You'll be able to actually see that it's actually only the facade of the building. It's a new building that's sort of been built behind it. So this building here is the former police station and police residence. It was built in the 1880s for the chief superintendent. It's not a private residence or anything like that nowadays. It's actually used, it just says for other police purposes, so I'm assuming maybe storage or something like that. But interestingly, when you walk along, the actual new police station is right next to it. So they're actually very close to each other. And then we walk up the street a little bit further here to the next building, and this is actually the new courthouse. So this new courthouse was built in 1973. Looks like it's going under a few renovations at the moment, so we won't be able to sort of go in, and we can't film in there regardless anyway. So this building we're coming up to on the right here is the old Seymour State School. It's constructed in the 1860s and it was used up until 1972. It's still being used for education in some way, but not as a school anymore. Thank you. So this building we're coming up to on the right, this is the old O'Callaghan store. It was built in the 1890s and it's been used since then for various purposes. Anything from furniture store to cafe to motor parts. Just going up, there's a little plaque here which we'll stop on for a moment. So it was originally a furniture shop and news agency. I'm just going to come past and get the front of the store here. So one of the activities that you can do here in Seymour if you visit is the Vietnam Veterans Commemorative Walk. So it sort of winds down to my left here. It's a bit of just a little trail. You can go past some tanks and helicopters, cannons, etc. that were used in the conflict. And there's actually a commemorative wall as you walk along the trail as well. So well worth having a look. So this building here, can't go on it because it's actually private property, but it is the old Church of England Rectory. Not sure what year it was built, but as you can see it's in a bit of a state of disrepair, unfortunately. Hopefully once it's sold that they might actually be able to get some restoration done, because I reckon it would have looked amazing. So it was originally built and now it was added to. It was actually wartime accommodation. So out also just to the right there, I'm going to say it's quite possibly maybe some of the extended accommodation that they built. But I tell you, looking at it, it looks like one of those creepy old haunted houses, but that's okay because we love them. But yeah, really old, interesting building. This building across the road is the Seymour Uniting Church. Beautiful old building. Progress hits every town, including Seymour. So over here at the moment, this is actually a McDonald's, but on this site back in the 1860s was actually the old Methodist Church parsonage. Obviously no longer there, it was demolished, and now we have McDonald's. So this is the Cemetery Pioneer Park. We're just going to have a walk through. It's a pretty wet day, but we'll see how we go. I was here on Friday filming and I just happened to see this place as I was driving out, but there was no parking for me to come and actually do a bit of filming, so I've come back a couple of days later to film this part. So from a few of the gravestones I've seen so far, I see it sort of goes back to, well, on what I've seen, 1880s, but I'm going to assume there's probably more that are actually a bit older. So this one here is actually 1891. I'm going to be very careful of this one here, actually. Down a little bit. So this one here is actually 1859. So they do go back quite some time. Brilliant. I'm just going to pop this gimbal down so you can see these gravestones a bit better. It's an amazing little memorial actually to the pioneers of the town. This building here is the Pioneer Library, also known as Mechanics Institutes. This one was built in 1875. And as I say in previous videos, there's one in every town, and here is Seymour's. Now, this building here is now the home of the Seymour and District Historical Society. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's open, because I'd love to go in there and get some of the history from the guys in there, but it's a beautiful building all the same. I'm just going to walk down this way. Have a look at the rest of the building. So I've just spotted this interesting memorial stone here. So it says, some 50 pioneers and Aborigines, names unknown, buried within 100 metres west of this spot, 1839 to 1855. It's great that they actually have this sort of memorial. You probably don't see this a lot in towns. So just having a walk through this park now. It's the footy ground. I believe it's named Kings Park. There's a footy / cricket ground, some tennis courts. Looks like part of the showgrounds. Seymour showgrounds are housed on this area as well. It's pretty big. It goes way down the other end there. So I'm just gonna flip the gimbal the other way around so you guys can actually see what we're walking through at the moment. So we're just having a walk through, walking up to the footy oval now. Now this is opposite the Historic State School and O'Callaghan store on Tullarook Street. I would say most likely they would have some footy teams and cricket teams playing out of here. It's a country town. It is actually a decent sort of size population wise. I don't have the number on me right now, but I will find that and post it in the subtitles below. This is the footy ground. It's got the Ken Daniel stand. Clubhouse. I'd say that would be the timekeeper, scorekeeper's hut over there. And we've got the actual scoreboard here as well. And way down that way, you can see there's more buildings, and it sort of goes on for a fair bit. That down there, I believe, is the showgrounds. So, yeah, quite a big site. Thanks for watching the video today. We hope you've enjoyed. If you do like our content, please like and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, but it does help us push our videos out to more and more people. For everyone that watches them, thank you very much. We do truly appreciate it. I don't have Heidi here with me today. She's joining me later. She had a couple of things to do back in Melbourne before she head up. But until next time, take the road less travelled. It will make all the difference. And this has been another GHI Travel Adventure. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed.